Nekessa Remy joins us to talk about at-home workouts and buying the right running shoes online. Thanks for joining us via Skype. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
So it all starts, first of all, with what type of activity we're doing, right?
Absolutely. So you want to know, are you hiking? Are you doing more outdoor running? But the type of activity really does determine the type of shoe. So for example, if I'm going to be doing a lot of hiking or a lot of trail running, I want to make sure that I'm getting a shoe that is quite durable and that has a lot of grip through the sole, because these are going to be shoes that are good for uneven surfaces. Whereas if I'm going to be outside running on pavement, I want to go with a running shoe that has a lot of grip in through the midsole, but also has a lot of cushioning, like in through the heel and in through the arch. So those are things to keep in mind. And also, too, a lot of us are working out inside in our homes. And you make sure you get a nice light shoe that's got a lot of flexibility, because chances are you're up, you're down, you're moving side to side. So you need a more flexible shoe for that type of activity.
All right, now there's actually, our foot type comes into play as well. There's actually a test that we can do, a simple test to establish. We have some examples actually of this. So it's a wet test.
It's a wet test. So all you have to do is step on a piece of paper with your foot wet and take a look at the imprint that it leaves. Now you'll see somebody who has a flat foot or a pronator is going to have the first type, whereas the last type is somebody who's got really high arches. So each type of foot is going to require a different type of shoe. So if you are somebody who's got a flat foot, a couple things you want to look for in your shoe. You want to look for a shoe that's got a really thick arch support. So there should be a lot of wedge in the mid-step of the shoe. The other thing you want to look for is a nice heel cup, which is usually plastic found around the heel. What that does is it locks your foot into place so that you don't roll inwards, because a lot of people with flat feet tend to roll in.
And that causes a lot of problems, doesn't it? You know, as a chiropractor.
Ankle sprains, absolutely. Now, if you're at the other end and you're somebody who has a high arch.
That's me, I'm a supernator.
Awesome. So you definitely need a shoe with a lot of cushioning. So this shoe here actually has air in through the heel, plus it has memory foam in the heel as well. So if somebody like yourself with a high arch, you need a lot of cushioning to support the arch and sometimes the stiffness that can build up in somebody with high arches.
Okay. And now in the middle ground, in between the two?
Between the two, you want what's called a stability shoe. So a stability shoe kind of has a little bit of both. It's got cushioning in the heel, it has arch support, but it's not going to overcorrect anything. The main goal of a stability shoe is literally just hold your foot in place and let it do what it needs to do. You don't need a lot of overcorrection if you're somebody who has a foot type that looks like the middle picture that you showed.
Yeah, what's the, do you get a lot of chronic injuries in your practice because of wearing the wrong footwear?
Absolutely. And a lot of times, too, it's important to keep in mind, if you're running 3-4 days a week, you're going to probably need to change your shoes every 6 months, because a lot of the cushioning that we feel in through the heel or the arch support, it actually wears down over time. And then you're looking at back pain, you're looking at knee pain, all because you don't have the proper support and you're lacking shock absorption. So definitely keep in mind how often you should be changing your shoes, because yes, it can lead to a lot of chronic injuries.
Yeah, and this impact to your, or change to your gait, it could cause hip problems as well, I would imagine.
Absolutely. If you have any changes to your gait, if you've got an increase or loss of weight, all of those things could mean that it's time for a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, great advice. As always, we'll hook up your website at chh.com. Chiropractor Nekessa Remy. Good to see you.
You too. Take care.